covered entity may be required to disclose PHI without the patient's permission. There are times when the public good outweighs personal privacy. These circumstances are set forth in Section 164(508) of the Privacy Rule. There are 12 kinds of disclosures that do not require permission or authorization. Subsection A is the general rule that says disclosures must always be limited to relevant information. Subsection B identifies 5 public health activities where PHI is routinely collected without the patient's permission. Health authorities are required to collect vital statistics and report certain diseases. Local governments are required to review PHI when they receive reports of child abuse. FDA collects information to regulate products within its jurisdiction. Partner notification for certain diseases like HIV may require disclosure of PHI. OSHA collects PHI that is relevant to work-related injuries and illnesses. Protective service agencies are authorized to investigate allegations of abuse. Health oversight agencies may use PHI to investigate or discipline licensees. Judicial and administrative officers may compel covered entities to disclose PHI. Covered entities may disclose PHI to law enforcement officials if certain conditions are met. PHI must be disclosed to coroners and medical examiners to identify cause of death. Organ procurement agencies may access PHI without the family's authorization. PHI may be used by research teams according to other rules specified by HIPAA. PHI may be disclosed to avert a serious threat. Military officials are not subject to HIPAA privacy rules. Workers' compensation documents are governed by state law instead of HIPAA. Now we'll examine disclosures of PHI in the town of Single Peak. Pete's mother was the second patient taken from the dentist's office to the hospital in the same week. Pete accompanied his mother to the hospital.
Hi, Dr. Pruitt.
Tell me what happened, Mary.
The dentist gave me some laughing gas, and then I woke up in the ambulance.
I think Mother got an overdose of nitrous oxide.
Were you taking any other medications?
No, I don't take drugs.
But I suspect the dentist was on something. I smelled alcohol in his breath. Every day at noon I see him go to the Capitol Bar for lunch. Maybe he was drunk.
Perhaps we should contact the dental board. The board is a health oversight agency that regulates the practice of dentistry.
I want them to investigate what happened.
That's a good idea. Thanks, Dr. Pruitt.
Dr. Pruitt went back to his office and he disclosed Mary's PHI to the dental board. The complaint was assigned to investigator Ivan, and soon Dr. Pruitt got a phone call.
This problem could be a serious threat to other patients. We need to audit the dentist records. Is there a photocopy service in town?
Yes, computer guy is down the street.
Thanks for your help. This might result in disciplinary action.
Guy received the investigator's request to copy records, and then he heard sirens outside.
Is that a fire down the street? Look, it's the dentist's office.
Fortunately, the dentist escaped the flames and no one was hurt. After the fire, Dennis went to the fire station. He talked to the officer and the fire chief.
Do you have any idea what caused the fire?
I believe it was a gas leak. I heard 2 explosions. The oxygen tank and the nitrous oxide tank. I think the gas flow meter was defective.
Were you smoking?
No, but there's a smoker who works downstairs.
I'm gonna call the state fire marshal. They should investigate this fire.
The state fire marshal sent a deputy to Single Peak. He scoured the rubble and didn't find an obvious cause. So then he called the dental board and the DEA, and the medical supply company. He reviewed Mary's dental board complaint and records from the DEA, and dental supply records, and medical gas company records. The medical gas company identified the nitrous gas flow meter. That device was an FDA-regulated product. The supplier had already submitted an adverse event report using Mary's PHI. This report and 2 other reports caused a product recall. Mary's PHI was used without her permission by 3 different public entities, all responsible for public safety. We just covered one example of PHI that was disclosed without the patient's agreement. Workers' compensation is another important exception to the HIPAA privacy rule. We'll touch on this and other exceptions in later tutorials. Thanks for watching. We have more tutorials coming, and thanks in advance for comments and suggestions.